Let's talk a little bit about the different techniques you can use for making decisions. And in this tutorial, we outlined 4. There's actually more, but probably there are variations of these 4. One is sole decision making, right? When someone calls Deborah early in the morning, they're going to be out. She doesn't call us and doesn't collaborate with us or compromise. This time I'll pick the sub, next time you get to pick. She just makes a decision. In the classroom, do you all agree on where the trash can will be? Or when the trash needs to be taken out? Or are there decisions you make throughout the day that you make on your own? Any of you?
I think it's a combination of both. There are decisions that I make throughout the day. I'm free, I can take the trash out, let me go ahead and take it out. And I think, you know, if the trash can needs to be here, no, it needs to be there. Sometimes that's a conversation that needs to be had. Sometimes it's, all right, just put it over there.
Right.
Well, in our room, we have our days where we take out the trash, so it's different.
What do you mean?
Um,
Where you can't, people don't see it, or?
we have our set place where we.
Oh, you have a schedule for
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we have a schedule for that.
Oh my
And that was
goodness.
a decision process that had to be made.
What I'm finding is new teams or teams that are struggling with collaboration, this is often what they want to put in. It's happening in primary right now. It's driving a veteran teacher insane because he feels we can just go with it. But several new members of the team are like, you know in your head, we don't. We have to have this structure. And then they internalize it, and then they don't need the chart anymore because they've internalized when to do what. So again, no wrong or right way, just is it meeting the needs of the team?
I feel like we do kind of a combination of that. Like, it's a given that whoever leaves on the 12:30 lunch takes the trash out. But if somebody's free before then, whoever it is will just grab the trash and take it out.
So sole decisions probably aren't made as much here as other forms. Compromise, many years ago when we started with collaboration, a lot of people chose compromise, and a variation of that is majority rules. That is not good at all typically on important decisions because of why?
Because you're just kind of going with the flow, you're not
Right.
really,
Oh, and there were there was a team of 7, I guess 5 wanted to do, I don't even remember what it was, and they said, well, we voted, and 5 of us say yes and 2
Right.
say no. The 2 that were voted down, you could tell that this was not going to
And it will
build
eventually
trust.
come to the surface.
It will. There was, resentment was already starting.
right.
But you might compromise if you want to swap lunch with someone. Look, I'll swap with you today if you'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a
not-
very good, to me, example of when that's appropriate. It's not worth
Right.
collaborating on.
No.
No.
Consensus building, Deborah and I have actually gone to training on that. There's actually a methodology you can use. We used it in your room recently, where you go by, you identify a problem, you brainstorm on all the solutions to the problem, you narrow down the list, you discuss them, and you come up with solutions based on that. With that, you are building consensus, but you may not really have complete buy-in, but people agree to go with it, or you may have a fallback. Your room may go through consensus building and then say, we still can't reach a decision, and go to Allison or Deborah, right? Collaboration is an important decision that requires that everyone get on the same page. I guess that could be a new curriculum, new testing tools. What could it be in a classroom?
The discipline technique we're going to use. We're going to have a series of meetings. We're going to go through it. We're going to have different people weighing in who are coming back, and then collaboratively we'll decide, does this fit with our approach?
And that's
Or should
very
we seek
hard to
something
do,
else?
to collaborate on
Oh,
discipline methods.
this is one of the hardest. Collaboration is one of the hardest because it takes the most energy and the most time.
And the most emotional intelligence.
Well, yeah.
Right?
And it does go on, and can go on and on and on past everybody's.
Well, let me ask you, we're looking at hiring someone for your room, Karen.
Yes.
We've interviewed her, we've looked at her, we all have our opinions. Should it be a compromise, consensus, or collaboration in deciding with the team and the support team and whether this person should be hired?
I think it should be collaboration,
Right.
definitely. Yes.
You know why that's painful?
Everybody's got their
Everybody
2
has their
cents
opinion of
And
that
you can
person.
lose good people.
Right,
while you're trying to hash this through.
exactly.
Or you may decide, look, what Karen is saying, she saw something in the classroom, we don't see it, but we're gonna go with it. We could be wrong, you never know, right?
Right.
That's one of the risks in collaboration is when you but you ultimately over time make safer and better decisions. But it's painful because it takes so much discipline, right?
How do
And
you-
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, how would you get to a resolution? Say there is, you're making that decision or another decision and you're collaborating on it, and you do have a lot of great differing opinions. How do you come to the decision?
Well, first, you probably, in this case, you better have pretty well-defined criteria, right? Which we're
Right.
working on now.
Yeah.
Right.
People, if you're gonna collaborate well, they have to be well-prepared too.
You have to have the information.
The information.
Right.
Okay.
And access
And the
to
reasons
it.
why and the all of
discussion
the-
through it,
yeah.
people's voices, you have to debate it.
Okay.
And then Paul is right, you write it all up on some big old sheet
Mm-hmm.
of paper or whiteboard, and then people go up and check what's most important to them, and at the
Mm-hmm.
end,
Okay.
what you have is 2 or 3, now that we've agreed to focus on,
Really
2 or
good
3
points.
points, and then
Okay.
move from there.
But this is where diversity of thought, if we have the emotional intelligence to listen to it, is where the breakthrough ideas come. You see something in that person we didn't see, the person
Yeah.
who gets down at the child's level and nurtures them. When Deborah walked by that one day, she was,
Sitting up on the counter,
Right.
let's pretend.
That's her hot button, right?
Yes.
Right, gone.
But
And you
you would
can
have to
retrain that,
advocate.
right?
Yes.
But you would have to
Advocate.
advocate, and we'll talk about that in another video. Deborah, I know what you saw, I will speak to her, this is what I see. We want to have her for another week, because come back in a week and let's have this discussion about counters.
Okay,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
okay. Thank you.